What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Wednesday, October 11th, day number 71 inside the Big Brother house. I hope you all enjoyed the interview with Zingbot yesterday, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's live stream update. We're also going to be talking about a lot of other things. We'll probably end up talking about the challenge maybe a little bit too, as well as the Amazing Race, Survivor, the Traders Canada. There was a whole episode that we need to talk about, so make sure you're catching up on that for the later portions of the live stream when we're not talking about Big Brother feeds. But also we have tomorrow's eviction to look forward to as well. Plus the episode that we're talking about today ended on a cliffhanger, so we'll have to see the fallout of all of that as well. But speaking of which, let's jump into it because we've got a good bit to go over from the episode last night to the live feed yesterday. Let's kind of break down what's going on, where the house is at the moment, plus some interesting things because I'm going to go over the alliance chart for this week and kind of how the house is developing right now, whose head is where, who's going to be trying for HOH, who won't be, and we're going to go over all of that. So let's start off with the episode. And we kind of pick up exactly where we left off with Bowie's HOH. We had her nominating Cirie and Felicia. And it was kind of interesting that she was saying in the diary room, Cirie probably is her bigger target since she's like, well, if a Survivor legend gets to the end, she's going to win. Which I'm not so sure that Bowie's wrong here anymore. At one point, during the Jared weekend of eviction, I just felt like there was like no way for Cirie to really gain trust back with anybody. But she's found herself in a very good position in the house that even though she's up for eviction against Felicia, there was no way that it seemed like Cirie was going to be going. It seemed like she had the votes no matter what to stay over Felicia. So I can see the path now for Cirie to win the game if they let her get there. So Bowie sees that. So it's interesting to hear her actually point that out in her diary room. And she kept saying how she won the nominations to stay the same, even though everybody kept coming to her and pushing their own agenda, saying, you know, hey, why don't you put up Cory, said Cam. And then meanwhile, everybody else was saying, hey, why don't you put up Cam? So they were kept pushing all these back doors. But she didn't want it to happen. She wanted the nominations to stay the same this week. And it's funny because she didn't want to get blood on her hands, and really, Bowie was playing the game that we thought Mimi could have been playing, and Mimi would play eventually. But no, it was Bowie who was doing this the whole time, where she was laying low, she got into a position where she won some power, and she wanted to keep things chaotic and let everybody going after each other, and taking out people that she felt she needed to take out. But we'll get to that because things are changing. Let's get into the veto because it was Zingbot and Otev in kind of the scramble verse for the veto competition. And the Zings. Let's talk about the Zings. We had Zingbot on for an interview and he gave some to us. And even though they felt a little nicer than normal and just not as good as they normally have been in years past. And the Zings on the episode also felt kind of down. America's was solid. I thought that one was pretty funny with the grave robbing thing. Cirie's was okay. Her, you know, being alone on the island. But something that is kind of interesting with that too is I don't think many of them are really affected by this, but it does have the potential of like lowering her threat level of like, oh, she's alone in the game now, no friends, don't worry about Cirie. So it kind of like helps her a little bit in a way. Same with Matt. They were like, oh, he's a dumb blonde, don't worry about him, you can get him to do whatever you want. And they kind of think that a little bit of him already, so it's not like it really helped him much, but those are things that, you know, potentially you can get a little bit of information out of whenever that kind of stuff happens. Other than that, Cory's was pretty funny too because they wrote him a whole song, but like they put a lot of effort in that one. The rest were meh. They were just really mid. Felicia's didn't even make sense because she's old, right? She's an older person, but she doesn't have like a whole bunch of wrinkles or anything, right? Like It just didn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, we jump into the competition for the power of veto. Cirie is out first, just continuing not to be good at competitions. In her very first veto comp of the season, she hasn't been picked to play in one. This is the first time she's playing, and it was because she was nominated, guaranteed to play. But she gets to the top of the ramp, but she brought back the wrong one. She brought back Kirsten and Hisam instead of Reilly and Hisam, or Reilly and Kirsten instead of Reilly and Hisam. It was the two that she had to bring back. I forget which one was which, but she brought Kirsten back. I know that one for sure when they wanted Reilly and Hisam. And she had to go back. That means she got eliminated first. America went out second. Then Felicia, who did a really good job. I'm always proud of Felicia whenever she does well in competitions. Then Matt, followed by Bowie, and eventually Jag, who won the power of veto. And he plans on using it. He wants to make sure that Bowie has to put up Cameron, and he's pushing for that to happen. Cam goes to her Bowie and he says, listen, I got a bad feeling. And she goes, yeah, I think he's probably going to use it. So he's like, so what are you going to do? And she's like, I don't know. I don't want to get a lot of blood on my hands. He's like, you probably should put up Cory. And that's a good move because you get Cory out, and then what's America going to do, right? Like, we'd be in a really good position, I think, after that. And she's like, well, I don't know. And he's like, well, then who then? Are you going to put up me? Because, like, I'm not going after you, and you shouldn't be going after me. Like, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. And we end on a cliffhanger of whether or not Jag will use the power of veto and Cameron will go up on the block. But we all kind of already know what has happened with that. So now, without further ado, let's jump into the actual live feed update. We can kind of talk about everything else that's been developing yesterday. So if you don't want the spoilers, now's your chance to get out of there. But 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Jag did use the power of veto. Cameron did go up on the block. We've known about this. And today was all really just kind of not even anybody really worried about the votes. Like, Cameron's trying. He's making his pitches. He's doing his job as a nominee, I guess you could say. But he's not really making any headroom. No one is planning on flipping the vote from Cameron to Cirie at this point. Anything is possible with this group, but it just really seems like everybody is fully on board now. That at this point you've done the damage with Cameron, so you might as well just get him out now while you can. Plus, people have really kind of started to work on their plans going forward and how to move and who to target. And what makes best for their situation. And it's interesting because everybody is thinking of it very logically and trying to figure out what's best for them. But there are a few holes in their logic and a few missing information pieces and bad reads that are making it a very interesting path forward here. But let's talk about a little bit of things that were going on. We had Cory and America trying to work with Cirie and Felicia. And even there was one convo that Cory had with Cirie, and afterwards she's like, they should just call Big Brother the impossible game. Like, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make the impossible happen. And the main idea would be Cory and America, Cirie, Felicia would work together as kind of a 4-person group, and they would have the main goal of splitting up Jag and Matt. But even before that, the thing that's kind of the issue is Cory and America also want to take out Blue, but they don't want to take out Blue. And then Cory and America, they don't really seem to be willing to like take the shot right now on Matt and Jag when they really should be thinking of taking the shot on Matt and Jag. So we'll see how that kind of all plays out, but there's definitely been talks about the 4 of them all kind of working together. Cory and America seem to really be kind of, for it and down, and at the very least, it covers their bases a little bit. If, potentially Felicia and Cirie were to win HOH, they would think, oh, well, now we have this like 4-person group. At the very least, they'll go after, let's say, Matt and Jag or Blue instead of going after Cory and America. The thing is, though, Cirie also realizes how big of a threat Jag is now at this point, and that he needs to go And then Felicia actually kind of thinks that maybe Cory should go first and then they can worry about Matt and Jag. But it feels like Cirie is pushing the agenda that, hey, actually, maybe Cory and America should stay more than Matt and Jag should stay. So that's actually kind of an interesting thing there, depending on who would win HOH and where they would go with it and who would have the most influence on them. And depending on who actually plays hard for it, I think Cirie is going to have a big hand in their HOH. So we'll see how that all goes. There was another interesting convo before we kind of break into like how the house dynamics really are, and we'll talk more about that. I wanted to mention this interesting little convo that happened with Cameron and America. It's another one of those like slightly heated, but not really, more of just how I guess aggressive is the word, right? Where it's not like they're yelling at each other, but they're definitely like annoyed. To the point where Cameron's like, I just can't stand you anymore, and he just walks away from the conversation. He heads to the scary room where he ends up talking with Jag, and he's like, hey, how's it going, right? And America follows him in. She's like, why'd you walk away? And he's like, I just needed a break. I needed a break from the conversation. And she's like, whatever. And she says to Jag, like, he was just throwing you under the bus to me, by the way. And she leaves. And Jag's like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? And Cameron's like, like, you did this. Like, this is your fault. He doesn't necessarily say that, but he implies it. Yeah, they kind of go back and forth, kind of talking about his same pitch that he's been doing over and over. But let's jump into the alliance chart, because this is where I think we can really kind of break down what the house dynamics are. And this is the new chart that I have kind of set up for this week. Not too many changes. I have added in that 4-person alliance of Cirie, Felicia, Cory, and America, just because, right? But other than that, most of it really kind of stays the same, with this like umbrella of protection that Matt and Jag kind of have going on. Because they're very much in the center of the house. Everything's kind of revolving around them. You've got the sinking ship, you've got Belgium, you've got the 3-Ray Rats, the Unreliables. You've got their trio with Blue, which at one point was that. No, crowd control was with Reilly, I think. Right? I forget. I don't even think they have an actual name for that trio, but they've been together for a very long time in the game. You've got the Jap, Matt, and Cirie trio, which they kind of like reformed, even though that really already was a thing. Then you also have the Blue and Cirie duo, which I kind of put down there because you can see up at the top what I've kind of done is Blue, Cirie, and Felicia. They're not really a trio necessarily, but they are all on the same side. Like, they've never formally been like, yo, it's the 3 of us. But it very much is kind of that. Like, the 3 of them are all one side of the house. They all are kind of working together. But you do have kind of the 2 pairings on each side. Like, they're connected through Cirie. So I wanted to kind of like incorporate that in the bottom of the chart too, with Blue and Cirie, and then also Matt and Cirie. And then the bookends who are back and stronger than probably ever. You then have the kind of the 5-person group that they have been working on with Jag, Matt, Bowie, and Cirie and Felicia. I guess technically they have kind of that going with Blue as well. But again, it's not really like it's a formal official thing. It's more of just like, well, Matt and Jag have the trio when they talk to Felicia and Cirie. They talk about Blue, but they also like talk about how they don't trust Blue and stuff. So it's kind of a thing. Then over on the other side, you know, you've got Cory and America, still obviously a tight pair. You got Bowie, who's very close to the Minutemen, Matt and Jag, and they've just got connections everywhere in the house. Now, who is targeting who is trying for HOH, right? Like, what are we looking at going forward in this next week? Because at this point, like I said, Cameron's probably getting evicted. I really don't see any way for the vote to flip to Cirie at this point. So it's really down to Cameron. And now let's kind of figure out, where do things go from here? Cory and America, they obviously see the threat in breaking up Matt and Jag and the importance of that, but they really strongly want to just go for Blue, and they want to push that down the line. I hope they start to realize, like, if they win this HOH, which both of them should be trying for the HOH, but both have kind of said they're planning on maybe throwing potentially because they don't want to have to take the shot in Matt and Jag, which I don't think is the play for them. I think they definitely need to win this. They would probably end up going for Blue over Matt and Jag, which I think is a bad move on their part. Bowie obviously can't play in the HOH. Both Matt and Jag pretty much plan on throwing this as well. Cirie and Felicia, I think, are going for it. They're gunning for it hard. Even at one point, they were like reading, the Clorox wipes or like the lotion bottle. They were reading like all the like packages of things to try and get like long words. But the thing is, like, they do know it's also kind of like the OTEV comp that they both just played in, where you have to like search for the letters first before you spell the long word. So like just knowing a long word doesn't really help you that much in that competition. It's all about getting the most letters, stockpiling as many letters as you can, and then creating the longest words you can from those letters. But nonetheless, I guess looking up long words can be helpful. But they at least seem to be trying for the HOH, but they also, Cirie, I think, like I said, sees the danger of Jag, right? If Jag stays, he will win the game. And they feel like they can still get Matt on their side, which I think they're also right with. If Jag were to leave, Matt would very much just go running right to Cirie and would be kind of his workhorse, right? Someone that she can use to take out other people and get further and hopefully take out before you get to the final two, because you do not want Matt there in the final two with you. So I guess she's maybe hoping that like Blue could pull out a win there or something like that, or maybe she could even pull out a win. Ooh, boy, that would be something. So it does seem like the big targets, right? The people who are in the most trouble going into next week would be Cory, Blue, and Jag. But like we said, a lot of people aren't planning on winning it. So really the ones who probably have the best shot of being the HOH going into this next week, you've got Cory if he tries, America if she tries. Blue seems to be the only one that I know for sure like is going to try. And then if Matt and Jag don't try, like, okay, they're kind of out of the running. Cirie and Felicia are going to try, but like, oh, what are they going to do? And Felicia seems to be more in the mind to go after Cory and America. Cirie, I think, wants to go after Jag. Blue wants to go after Cory, I believe, but I think Cirie would have more of an insight, or not an insight, but a sway on Blue's decision. And I think she would be able to kind of point Blue in the direction of going for Jag. Because Blue kind of thinks that there's no way that Jag and Matt could be these masterminds behind everything. Whereas Cirie's like, I think Jag is the mastermind behind everything. So I think she can kind of guide Blue in the direction of Jag. So it would be interesting if Jag and Matt don't try to win the HOH. They let Blue win it, thinking she's going after Cory. And then Cirie guides that missile straight at Jag instead of anybody else. So that would be kind of cool. Other than that, again, Bowie can't win. It seems like Matt and Jag are just like, yeah, like, why win? Like, there's no real point for them to win, I guess. Yeah, it seems like it could be down to Blue or Cory. And Cory also, I don't know if he takes the shot at Jag and Matt. He would want to take a shot at Blue. Blue would want to take a shot at Cory. But both of them should be taking the shot at Jag. And Cirie might point them in that direction. So it could be interesting to see how this all goes. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below about how the house is kind of situated here. What are your thoughts of like where people's heads are and who they would target? Who should they target? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to be evicted? Do you think there's any chance today that the vote flips and we see Cirie going over Cameron? And then who do you think is in the most trouble next week? Do you agree with me? That's probably Blue, Cory, and Jag. And then even more than that, probably just Cory and Blue, because mainly everybody else is throwing the competition. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys all again so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving me on the channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Hit that like button, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Smash that like button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream, which we will be doing tomorrow. Every Thursday, we do the live update where we start with the Big Brother update, just like this video is here. We kind of just run through it because I know you guys love the kind of just the brevity of the updates that I do and kind of the non-filerness of it. So I try to keep that as intact as possible for the streams. And then afterwards, we start getting into a lot of fun stuff where we start talking about other reality shows, just other random things, more Big Brother, and it's just really a great chance to get to chat and interact with you guys. And I've been really having a lot of fun with them every week. So we'll have that tomorrow. I aim for 7:30. Hopefully this time I remember to press live on YouTube, not just on my streaming software, because I was streaming to nobody for 20 minutes. So that was a thing last time. But around 7:30, we're going to aim for tomorrow morning. So make sure you come on out and check out for that. If you can't make the live stream, don't worry. You can still check it out after the fact as well. We'll have kind of chapters set up for it so you can be like, oh, let me check out the BB update. Oh, this is when they were talking about Survivor, and this is when they were talking about Amazing Race and the Traders and the Challenge. So let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments down below. Anything you want to talk about too for tomorrow, and kind of put it on the list to make sure we get to it. But we also have the live chat, and that's kind of the fun part of it too, is being able to chat with all you guys every morning. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you next time.